everyone, this is Jody, and in the middle of our Instapot guide for beginners. Today we are going to talk about meal prepping. Meal prepping is one of our favorite tricks to help busy families. If you're like us, you are running from school to from work to kids activities to whatever you have going on, to church stuff. It feels like we are constantly on the go. And when we are constantly on the go, we found ourselves would often go through fast food and quick places just because when you're getting home at 8 o'clock at night, you're too exhausted to figure out what to eat, first of all, and then you're too exhausted to cook it. And so my husband and I realized that the best way for us was to actually meal prep. You often hear meal prep is the key to a successful week, and that is often used for, like to lose weight and to stay on track nutrition-wise. But we've also found it's so true for us to lower our stress levels throughout the week and to also help with our budget, because if you're eating fast food or even just eating out a lot, it's going to eat away at your budget very quickly. Literally eat away at your budget. And so we found that this is the best way for us to save money, but it's also helping our family to get healthier. And so let's talk, before we dive into kind of what we do for meal prepping, the tools that we utilize when we are meal prepping. The one that we most recently got and enjoy is the double. This is a, like they call it like pot and pot cooking method. So you put this together and it actually just slides right down into your insert, into the Instapot, and you can cook 2 things at once or double the meat. So you could potentially do like chicken and rice or rice and steamed vegetables, however you wanted to do that. Currently, since we just got this recently, we mostly use this for our chicken. So when we meal prep our chicken, we do double batches of chicken. Now you can cook chicken in the Instapot without this double pot. You can just use your trivet or whatever to place it on. But we can get double the amount of chicken with these in there. And so this is going to, it's helpful already with our chicken, but it's going to be even more helpful when we start utilizing it for extra stuff to cook sides with. Like I said, like our sweet potatoes, our rice, things like that. Another huge key component to our meal prep are these containers. Now you can find these, we got these off of Amazon. It's just your typical meal prep containers. We have the 3 divided because we would typically do a protein and a starch like rice or sweet potatoes, and then we would do a vegetable. That's typically how we utilize these. These are fantastic. They stack well. Even just in storage, they stack well. They don't take up a lot of space. So if you are kind of an organizational freak like myself, these are very nice to store. But also in the refrigerator, they stack up very well. If you are frugal like myself and you don't want to spend a lot of money, my husband and I found that we really, if you live near Chick-fil-A, in our area we have a Chick-fil-A restaurant, we love their salad containers. And so we typically get salads for dinners anyways. And so we will take these salad containers, we eat the salads for dinner, and then we come home and wash them. These are safe in the microwave and dishwasher, if top shelf dishwasher, but they are top shelf dishwasher safe. So they're fantastic. We love these a lot. And they come, you can get like a side salad or the full salad. This is what we typically prep our salads in. So, if you don't want to have, if you're watching your budget and you don't want to go out and buy meal prep containers, if you're already eating out to eat or going out to eat right now at Chick-fil-A, or I'm sure there's other places that have high quality containers. I haven't found many other ones. Chick-fil-A is our favorite. We have a drawer full of these. I'm not exaggerating when I say that because it's our favorite. And then we also use mason jars. We use different sizes for different things. So like this size, I may put a salad or a side into. I would prefer, we also do overnight oatmeal. And so I use the smaller mason jars for those as well. And so while this isn't necessarily Instapot, because we don't necessarily use our overnight oats with these, this is part of our meal prep. And so my husband and I will create overnight oats with these, whatever recipes you want. We typically do a banana and peanut butter because it's our favorite. And then we make the overnights, put them in the refrigerator, and they're ready to go for the entire week. Now, if you forget to meal prep your overnight oats, don't worry, you can actually make steel cut oats and things like that in the Instapot. And so if you forget your overnight oats, throw your oatmeal in here and you can go, it can be cooking while you're getting ready in the morning, throw it in a jar and you're ready to go. And last but not least, we've talked about this before, your steamer basket and or trivet that came with it. We use our steamer basket for your vegetables and even some of our meats, we will sit on top of it. So how do we typically meal prep? That's a good question. As I just said, we typically will do things like overnight oats for breakfast. That's been our go-to lately. In the past, I have done like breakfast burritos or even breakfast sandwiches or casseroles, things like that. My husband and I have been cutting out carbs for the breakfast and lunch lately, and so he's been doing overnight oats still. I have not been. So it depends upon what we're doing that week as far as what we are doing. I'm actually doing more yogurt type stuff. Just depends how you do it. But we will normally prep, like I said, it's normally something in a to-go jar like this that's ready to go. Lunches are our main staple in our house. We love prepping our lunches. You can see back here we have 7 lunches prepped besides mine. This is my husband's. And I don't know, I guess I could try to show you to see how it works. When we do these salads, what we typically do, as you see, these are in our Chick-fil-A containers. Let's see if you can notice. So we typically fill our bowls with whatever lettuce you want. This one is made with spinach and living lettuce leaves. And then we throw in some shredded carrots. And we cook our chicken in our Instapot with our pot and pot method. And then we also hard-boiled eggs. I will sometimes add broccoli or cucumbers, whatever vegetables you want to throw in there is ready to go. Now my husband eats it just like this. I'm actually doing kind of a higher fat diet right now, so I will also throw in avocado and sunflower seeds on top of this as well. And then we have our little container of dressing that we'll throw on top. And that is our to-go. So for lunch today, I literally reached into the refrigerator, grabbed out my salad and cut up my avocado, and I was ready to go. This is pretty much our lunches every week just because we enjoy them and they're easy. We have a system in place, ready to go. Dinners, we often, depending upon our week, like this week is a super crazy week. My daughter has a theater production this week, so we have practice every night from 5 to 7, but that means we're gone from the house from at least 4:30 to minimum 7:30, more like 8 o'clock at night. And so we like to meal prep dinners for that time. Sometimes it's, like chili or meatloaf, fish, quinoa, like a turkey quinoa. What else have we done? Like a copycat Carrabba's sausage and lentil soup. We will meal prep that all at the beginning of the week. And then that way it's all in the refrigerator. Even our girls, or we will meal prep like hamburgers or different sides like that. We can literally just reach in the refrigerator, grab it all out, create a meal. Sometimes we will do different sides and you can pick which vegetable, which side, and which meat you want and put it on a plate. Sometimes we will literally, if you go to my blog, I actually have detailed recipes on some of the things that we actually make. And I also have pictures of some of our week's meal prepping so you can kind of see what it looks like all together. But we will sometimes, like I said, put a protein, starch, and a vegetable in here. These are packed and ready to go. So the last time we actually meal prepped for the girls, there were meatloaf and sweet potatoes and green beans. And so they came home from theater, got in the refrigerator, pulled this out, heated it up, and dinner was done within a minute for that day. Obviously, it took us, a little bit of time. We typically spend about an hour. If we're just doing breakfast and things like this, we've gotten it down to maybe half hour, 45 minutes. If we're doing a full week meal prep of dinners and everything, it's down to like an hour to 2 hours, depending upon what we are meal prepping. And that's really not bad. We've also done some, Brussels sprouts different types of vegetables, steamed vegetables in here that are ready to go as well. It really truly helps us stay on track with our nutrition for one, our budget too, and then when you're running in and out with kids all day long, it's so easy just to grab meals here. I actually now prefer to come home and get a meal and we can sit down and relax here rather than going to a restaurant. You still have to order and you still have to wait for your food, and most likely in most restaurants nowadays you're not going to get what you even ordered or whatever. And so I just prefer to come back home now and pop this stuff out, warm it up real quick, and we are ready to go. So if you want more detailed instructions on specific recipes that we use, I will be sharing those more in the future, but you can check out my blog, and it will have that link for you as well with some of the recipes that we use almost every week, and pictures of what we have done in the past. So I hope this is helpful. I hope, it can be a little overwhelming at first when you see, like if you go to our blog to see what our week looks like, you might look at it and be like, that's a lot of cooking in one day. And it seems overwhelming, but it's really not. It's a step-by-step process. You're just making stuff and putting it all together. And I'd rather spend 2 hours one day creating all of my meals and then have my rest of the week stress-free for dinners and just grab and go. So if you're just starting off and you feel a little overwhelmed, just start with breakfast and lunches. And you don't have to do something different every single day. Do what we do. We literally do overnight oats for the whole week, and we do these salads for the whole week, my husband and I. And so that will only take us maybe a half hour, 45 minutes to get done, and all of that's prepped. So even if you don't need help with dinner, but say you're running out the house in your mornings and it's crazy. I know Tuesdays we have our co-op for homeschooling, and sometimes it's overwhelming of like, what am I going to pack for lunch as I'm packing school bags and I'm doing all of this stuff to get ready. If we're already meal prepped and ready to go, I just reach into the refrigerator, put it into our cooler, and we leave. And so that in of itself is very helpful. So just figure out what causes you stress and what causes you to go out to eat, and try to meal prep for those meals. Sometimes my husband goes to work if he's working days and we don't have breakfast ready and he's running out the door and he's like, I don't have time to cook. He'll swing by a fast food restaurant and get some unhealthy food and that costs a fortune that he doesn't really enjoy, where if we are meal prepped ready to go, he can just eat here real quick or take it with him to go, and it's healthier and it's going to save us money. So take some of these tips, make it good for you and your family, find what works for you, find the recipes that work for you, and just start meal prepping overall, and see what a difference it does for your family. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we will see you next time.